From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Thursday, July 2nd. We have another day of extreme heat, dangerous conditions outside. So here's our Storm Track 8 meteorologist, Marcus Bailey, with what you need to know.
The entire state under this extreme heat warning until 8 p.m. officially tomorrow. Now, we'll see if we get some extensions with heat advisories for the weekend, because I think that is also possible. But as I've been mentioning for much of the week, it is very much rain dependent and cloud dependent with some of these temperatures here, all right? We're still holding on to the low 80s up around the Chicagoland area. Big heat dome still holding strong over the eastern half of the country, which keeps the storm complexes well to our north, well to our west, as you get this ring of fire situation here. And that will keep us dry at least for one more day. It's going to be a scorcher again. 94 for your high. We had 92 yesterday. 106 for our max feels like temperature here in Indy. Some areas in southern Indiana likely get over 110 degrees.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app, bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecast, radar, and Indiana sports, all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
While we deal with the extreme heat, volunteers are checking in on people who are the most vulnerable. News 8's Kat Sandoval spoke with two organizations ensuring that seniors have what they need.
Organizations like Meals on Wheels and Psychoa operate year-round. They deliver meals and do wellness checks on seniors and individuals who are homebound. They are the first line of defense, particularly in this extreme heat.
It's important to check on them and make sure they're doing okay.
Meals on Wheels of Central Indiana delivers 355 meals a day, 5 days a week, year-round. Volunteers interact daily with older adults and people with disabilities who may not be able to leave their homes. In addition to delivering food, they also perform wellness checks.
Usually they're always worried about people delivering. They always ask them, please, take care of yourselves and stay cool.
Psychoa helps people age with dignity. It also partners with Meals on Wheels.
One of the things we talk about a lot is know us before you need us. You never really know what's going to happen or what your needs will be in the future.
In addition to helping deliver meals to those who need them, Psychoa also operates meal sites designed with older adults in mind.
And in this heat wave allows them to kind of have a respite from that heat and the height of the day. Most of those meal sites, are in senior housing complexes or senior centers, so it allows them to kind of have that socialization as well.
Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Kat Sandoval for Wish TV, wishtv.com.
While many people are staying indoors, farmers do not have that luxury. And they're working around the clock to protect their crops and livestock from the high temperatures. News 8's Malia Van Ostrin shows us how they're adapting.
For farmers, summer heat comes with the territory, but for this hot stretch of weather, it's actually helping the crops grow, but it's not without its challenges. The summer sun is fueling Indiana's growing season, but for seventh-generation farmer Adam Scheller, the heat is a balancing act.
Right now, as far as the crops go, they're kind of loving this weather. They love the heat. There's this unit called growing degree days, and we're hitting them right now, which is very good for the corn. The moisture levels are right where they need to be, so that's why your yards are growing so fast right now, because plants love this weather.
The warm temps are helping his corn and soybeans thrive, but they're also helping the weeds grow too.
We're kind of just managing weed control and pressures right now, trying to continue to gain that optimal yield. You'll notice like some fields will have like some bare spots from all of the rain we had early on. Specifically, south of Indianapolis is going to have a lot more because they've had all those storms here recently. And so all of that will kind of be just manage those spots and make sure they don't have a ton of weed pressures.
Scheller says the more weeds you have, the less gross profit you'll have because the weeds steal the nutrients and moisture the crops need to grow. He says it's not just the plants feeling the heat. With dairy goats, beef cattle, and show animals like pigs, Scheller says keeping livestock comfortable is just as important.
You have to have water. I mean, we water daily. A lot of them are on automatic waters now. And just trying to not do a lot with the animals. Don't push them into a stress situation. Let them just do what they do. Give them plenty of feed. Make sure they're eating right. When we do work with animals, we do it in the mornings early or in the evenings late.
As the heat continues, farmers say they're constantly adjusting, doing what they can to protect both their crops and animals during the growing season.
We will break here for about a month, and then we will spray again a fungicide, spray on these beans and corn. And what the fungicide does is it prevents pathogens coming in and killing our plants early so they have a longer life so that they can produce more yield.
In Noblesville, I'm Aaliyah Van Ostrand for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
We want to make sure you're staying safe in the heat. We've made it really easy for you to find cooling centers and the latest forecast. Just go to wishtv.com where you can find all of our heat-related coverage in one place. IMPD is asking people to be responsible when they celebrate America's 250th birthday downtown this weekend. Officials say nearly 25,000 people are expected to go to the city's Fourth Fest on Saturday. IMPD says officers will be patrolling key locations, assisting with traffic flow, and ensuring that people feel safe and supported.
Anyone coming downtown must behave responsibly. Reckless or disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. If juveniles are found in violation of curfew or involved in disruptive behavior, officers may take appropriate enforcement action.
Fourth Fest is on Saturday at the American Legion Mall. The street festival is at 6 p.m. and then the fireworks start at 10 p.m. This morning, we have new details about the man arrested for disrupting a flight, forcing an emergency landing in Indianapolis on Tuesday. Airport police say that 32-year-old Jacob Cook caused a disturbance shortly after takeoff in Indy on a flight bound for Houston. Investigators say Cook called 911 from the plane, telling dispatchers he wanted to get off. Then officials say Cook then tried to open the door to the cabin before other passengers restrained him. The flight safely returned to Indianapolis after circling in the air for about 30 minutes. Cook is now under arrest for multiple charges, including disrupting the operation of an aircraft. The U.S. is heading to the last 16 of the World Cup after a 2-0 win over Bosnia and Herzegovina last night. Florian Balogun gave the U.S. the lead just before the halftime. Then Malik Tillman scored a sublime free kick late in the second half to seal the deal for Team USA. It was not a perfect night, though, for USA, though. The team's leading scorer, Balogun, got a red card, meaning he will miss the round of 16 against Belgium on Monday. That game is in Seattle. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Here in Indiana, cell phone bans and immigrant employment laws are now in effect. Most of the laws that passed this spring became active yesterday. News 8's government reporter, Garrett Berquist, goes over what you need to know.
Many of the new laws that take effect on Wednesday deal with children's matters. Let's begin with cell phones. Students at traditional public schools and charter schools now cannot use their cell phone at any time during the school day. There are exceptions for students who use their phones for medical or translation purposes. Earlier this year, I asked a student who attends a school with an all-day ban what students can expect.
It really just doesn't affect us much, and I think if we did have our phones on us, the day would be much different, and I feel like there would be a lot more people getting in trouble, pushing the limits.
Lawmakers passed a host of new child protection laws this spring in response to the death of Kinsley Welty in 2024. Kinsley's law requires the Department of Child Services to see a child within 30 days of closing a case. Another new law requires DCS to publicly report any past involvement with a child within 5 days of a death or near death from abuse or neglect. Perhaps the highest profile law prohibits employers from hiring, recruiting, or continuing to employ someone who is not authorized to work in the United States. Employers can face civil penalties if they do so.
Certainly employers who are doing the right thing or believe they're doing the right thing, they can definitely be issued a CID. Employers should know that they have rights if they receive a civil investigation demand. So in that instance, they should certainly contact an attorney sooner rather than later.
The law also requires county jails to comply with all immigration detainers and to notify a judge if someone in their custody is subject to a detainer request. 2 new public safety laws take effect that passed the legislature unanimously. One requires the Department of Correction to notify law enforcement and victims before it releases someone convicted of a violent felony. Another sets up a process to determine eligibility for advanced DNA testing in cold cases. One high-profile law is not yet in force. That's a requirement for social media providers to restrict certain features for users under age 16. That law does not take effect until January 1st. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Marion County prosecutors say a 17-year-old is now sentenced to 45 years in prison for killing another teenager in Beech Grove. Emmanuel Carter's case was originally filed in juvenile court. Police say in 2024 he shot 18-year-old Michaela Bauman. Now, prosecutor Ryan Mears says moving this case to an adult court was essential to ensure justice was served. The defendant was just 15 years old when he took a life, and today's sentence reflects the seriousness of his actions. Police say the shooting stemmed from a robbery. Here in Indianapolis, a proposed set of zoning regulations for data centers is moving forward. The City County Council is now set to hear the ordinance on Monday, but as Tim Spears with Indiana's I-Team reports, the proposal could still see some changes.
The City County Council will hear the proposed regulations on Monday after the Metropolitan Development Commission made some changes to the proposed zoning rules for data centers, inviting a chorus of boos from the crowd. Facing a crowd of protesters asking for a data center moratorium, the Metropolitan Development Commission not only advanced proposed zoning rules on data centers, they also voted to loosen those regulations, increasing noise limits to 65 decibels, or about as loud as a conversation. President John Dillon dismissed the idea of delaying the vote, saying the City County Council will have the ultimate power to make additional changes or reject the zoning ordinance. Dillon also shot down a proposal to add restrictions based on the size of the data center.
All power to the people! All power to the people!
Ahead of the meeting, about 60 protesters gathered outside the City County building. Rachel Wolverton is sitting front and center with her 3-year-old daughter.
Without clean water for our children to drink, there's no future here. I don't want to raise my children in this type of environment.
Citizens Action Coalition Program Director Ben Inskeep believes the zoning rules will streamline development rather than add public protections.
It's really just meeting the needs of the data center companies that can now have a clear pathway to come to our city and impose nuisances on the people that live here.
In public comment limited to 20 minutes, opposition asked for stricter standards and some requirements not addressed in the zoning draft. But DMD staff pointed out some of these regulations are more strict than what's required of typical industrial developments.
Having no regulations does not make it harder for data centers to be built. It just means that we don't have defined guardrails in place. These regulations are a way we can require these companies meet minimum standards and ensure the proper public processes play out.
City staff hope these rules can address some of the biggest concerns around data centers, requiring annual reporting on noise compliance, water usage, and power consumption. The City County Council could approve these rules as early as August 10th if they don't make any changes. Reporting downtown, Tim Spears, Indiana's I-Team.
Approval on an East Side data center is being delayed 2 weeks. The DC Blocks data center is planned along the Pennsy Trail. It's adjacent to other industrial sites, but just across the tree line is Irvington Elementary School. Developers want time to adjust the site plan, which city staff says will lead to fewer generators, more green space, and less square footage. The Metropolitan Development Commission will consider whether to approve a use variance for the project on July 15th. Turning now to the war in Iran, U.S. and Iranian diplomats are in Qatar for talks about a permanent deal to end the war. These discussions will be moderated and come after a weekend of crossfire in the Persian Gulf. Negotiators say they want to nail down specifics to pave the way for top leaders to seal an agreement, though differences over the Strait and Lebanon remain major hurdles and are still not figured out just yet. Officials in Venezuela say the chances of finding earthquake survivors are decreasing every day. Officials say the death toll from the 2 earthquakes that rocked the capital is now up to at least 2,300. Thousands of other people are still missing. A U.S. search and rescue crew is using heavy equipment to sift through all of that rubble.
Doing with now is working with heavy equipment operators that are locally here with some of our heavy riggers to delayer parts of the structure to remove some of the top layers so that we can get into those void spaces quicker.
The Venezuelan government is facing growing criticism for its handling of the disaster. The government has not been able to use excavators because of a lack of oil. 4 Venezuelan officials were also arrested after they were found to be taking valuables from the rubble. Police in New York City say a couple is under arrest after climbing the Empire State Building's antenna as part of a high-altitude marriage proposal stunt. Reed Binion reports.
How you doing? Can you just stay where you are?
Gripping police body cam video recorded high above Manhattan on Wednesday after 2 daredevils got past security and scaled the spire at the top of the Empire State Building.
You can't be up here.
Air traffic control audio captured a moment between a police helicopter pilot and a LaGuardia air traffic controller during the stunt.
2 geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire. They had some flag they were waving when they were up at the top.
At the end of their perilous climb up the spire, the man and woman unfurled a banner that read, quote, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." Then, on their way down, a surprising twist. People getting engaged at the top of the Empire State Building is a common occurrence, but not quite like this.
And he just proposed to her.
2 officers climbed 4 ladders to reach the pair, escorting them down safely. Police took the couple into custody without incident. They're facing multiple charges, including reckless endangerment and criminal trespass. A law enforcement official said investigators are working to determine how the pair accessed a restricted area not open to the public.
The security guard said that no, nobody's allowed up the top. But because I'd seen them go up, I just assumed that they were allowed.
After the incident, workers were seen on the spire apparently inspecting it. I'm Reed Binion for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The Pacers are signing forward Kelly Oubre Jr. to a 2-year deal worth nearly $17 million. That's according to a report from ESPN. The 30-year-old player has been with the Philadelphia Sixers for the past 3 seasons. He averaged 15 points and 5 rebounds over 178 regular season games. He will take over the role that Benedict Mathurin had on the team. The Pacers roster now sits at 14 players. Turning now to the track, ESPN reports that 2 Indy 500 winners are set to be teammates next season. 6-time IndyCar champion Scott Dixon and reigning 500 champion Felix Rosenqvist will join Arrow McLaren next season. Dixon has been with Chip Ganassi Racing since 2002 and has won 58 races with the team. Rosenqvist announced that he plans to leave Meyer Shank Racing last week, about a month after winning the 110th Indy 500. Rosenqvist is now 6th in IndyCar standings and Dixon is 10th. Big news for gamers. PlayStation says by 2028, all of its games will be available through digital format only. The company is discontinuing the production of physical game discs. Sony says the move reflects changing consumer preferences as more players choose to download games instead of buying them on disc. Game sets that are going to be released before January 28 will still have physical copies. After that point, though, the games will only be available through the company's PlayStation Store at digital retailers. Co-founder and original lead singer of the Village People, Victor Willis, has died. The band announced the news on their social media yesterday, saying Willis passed away on Tuesday after a short but aggressive illness. Willis performed on stage as the police officer or Navy Admiral. He co-wrote some of the group's biggest hits like YMCA and Macho Man. Yesterday would have been his 75th birthday. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Ever wonder who's out there making the world go round? It's truckers. Who unites baristas with coffee beans? Truckers. Who unites dogs with their favorite chew toy? Truckers.
That's why Progressive offers truckers even more protection with Cargo Plus coverage to keep truckers moving right along. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Not yet available in California, New York, and Virginia.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.
Every day as a small business owner feels like solving a puzzle. One moment you're cruising along, and the next, there's a shipping snag that has you scrambling. But here's a surprise you will like. With Progressive, small business owners save 13% on their commercial auto insurance when they pay in full. So go ahead, surprise yourself. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.